Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, and today we are talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers as a part of my 2017-18 season previews. Remember to head over to sportsfanentertainment.com for the article previewing the Steelers. The link to this article will be down in the description box below. Now, as for those of you that were following me last year, you knew that I picked the Steelers to beat the Patriots and to go to the Super Bowl, and they did face the Patriots in the AFC Championship, but they came up quite short as they did not even come close to beating the Patriots in that game. What will be their fate this season? We're going to look at this team, look at their strengths, their weaknesses, give you some bold predictions with this team, give you a fantasy outlook for the Steelers, and end this video with a win-loss prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're talking strengths. We got to talk offense. We start with the quarterback position in Ben Roethlisberger. Man, this guy continues to be a very good quarterback in this league. My only problem with Ben, he hasn't quite ascended to like the Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers range at this point, which I thought he was going to eventually. Like a guy like Drew Brees, he didn't start out at that range, but he ended up being at that range. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't, but he's still a very good quarterback in this league. To me, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. We know what we're getting from him, but we also can't quite expect for him to play 16 games. He's only played 16 games twice in the past 7 or 8 seasons, so look out for that when it comes to Ben Roethlisberger, but he's definitely a strength for this football team. He's been the integral part for this team since 2004. Definitely a strength in quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about their running back in Le'Veon Bell? Man, this guy has burst onto the scene. He's one of the best, if not the best, running backs in the NFL. This guy's fantastic, so patient with his runs. He's fantastic. He's great. Look at the wide receivers for this football team. We start with Antonio Brown, who may be the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's definitely top 2 or 3. Gotta love Antonio Brown. And it was actually a bit of a down year for him last year because the year prior he had like 1,800 receiving yards. The next year he had 1,200 receiving yards. But regardless, this guy is fantastic. And we're finally getting Martavis Bryant back into the fold in Pittsburgh. This guy's going to add another dimension to this offense. If he can stay on the field, stay out of trouble, stop smoking weed or whatever the hell he's been doing, keep your head on straight, Martavis Bryant. And we also have some decent depth here at this position. The Steelers picked up Justin Hunter, the former Tennessee Titan and Buffalo Bill, who apparently has been making an impact in training camp. He's even gotten reps with the first team in training camp, so look out for this guy. Sammy Coates is currently nursing injuries, but as a number 5 or number 6 option, he's intriguing. Eli Rodgers in the slot, and the Steelers went out and drafted Juju Smith-Schuster, and I believe the 3rd round or 2nd round of the 2017 NFL draft. This guy can make an impact his rookie year, so the wide receiver position is absolutely stacked. We're talking quarterback, running back, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, all being really good right now in Pittsburgh. Look at the offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right, a 4th strength, yet another strength for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. It's a very good offensive line where their worst offensive lineman may be their most important one in their left tackle, and Alejandro Villanueva. This guy's not great, but I mean, still, he's a decent left tackle in this league, and everyone else is really good. You have Pouncey in the middle, David DeCastro, Marcus Gilbert, may be one of the best, if not the best, right tackles in the NFL. So Villanueva is the worst one, but even he's a pretty decent left tackle in the NFL. He just extended his deal 4-year, $24 million, which is not top 10 in the league, but he knows his market value and he resigned. And Ramon Foster also for this guard depth chart. The offensive line is fantastic in Pittsburgh. Now, this may surprise some of you, but I don't see many weaknesses with this football team at all. I only see 2. One is a definite weakness, and the other one could end up being quite good. Let's start with the definite weakness, and to me, it's the tight end position. I don't love the tight end position. Jesse James last year, he came out, he was okay, about 300 receiving yards, but as a blocker, he's not that impressive. I don't think we're talking about one of the more impactful tight ends in the NFL right now in Jesse James, but he did have a huge step up from his rookie year, so perhaps another ascension is coming for Jesse James, but for right now, I don't love the starting tight end in Pittsburgh. And outside of that, I don't love the outside linebackers yet. Okay, Bud Dupree is here. I don't love him, although he's very young and this guy can continue to develop. Right now, he hasn't been that impactful. But James Harrison as a rotational pass rusher, and this guy is producing even at his old age. You put on this guy's Instagram, he's pushing 1,000 pounds every other week. He's hip thrusting 1,000 pounds. This guy's crazy. crazy. He's a rhinoceros, for God's sake. The amount of weight that this guy moves on a daily basis, he's fantastic. And you guys drafted T.J. Watt in the first round of the 2017 NFL Draft. He's coming out of University of Houston, if I remember correctly. Actually, no, Wisconsin, actually. And this guy, I think he's going to make an impact. You're already seeing that in preseason. He's gotten a couple of sacks early. Mike Tomlin continues to push this guy, as is the linebacker coach Joey Porter. I'm looking out for T.J. Watt to produce. So right now, the outside linebackers, they aren't great, but man, they're pretty good. So we look at the positions that are neither strengths nor weaknesses. Now let's start with the cornerbacks, because I feel like a lot of you may be surprised that I say the cornerbacks aren't really a weakness for this football team. But consider this. They have Artie Burns, whom they drafted last year in the first round of the 2016 NFL Draft. He had a decent year for a rookie, and you expect him to ascend even more in his sophomore campaign. He could end up being the number one corner for this football team, and a pretty good one. You look at Ross Cockrell. I mean, he can struggle at times, but as a number 2 option eventually, I think that's actually a good role for him. You have William Gay, who makes an impact. He comes down with interceptions. He makes plays. He's tough. He's physical. That's decent depth there. And then also you have Cameron Sutton, who you drafted in this year's draft, and I like this guy. He also makes plays on the ball. He also makes an impact in special teams. So as a number 4 corner, that's a pretty good number 4 corner. I think the cornerbacks have a lot of upside right now in Pittsburgh, and I don't think it's a weakness at all for this football team anymore after it's been terrible for the past couple of years. You look at the safeties right now. Mike Mitchell, I mean, you can hate on him a little bit. I mean, at times he's a bit of a clown. He can, misread some things on the football field, but I think he's a decent safety in this league. And Sean Davis was a rookie last year and struggled, didn't make a huge impact, but you expect, again, some ascension here from this guy. So you have a young Steelers core here, man. I like that they're replacing their older guys with younger guys. You're seeing that right now. Look at the defensive line for this football team. Cameron Hayward, actually, for the defensive line. I mean, this guy is a guy that, again, is a younger guy, but he's becoming more of a veteran in this league. He's looked pretty good. Javon Hargrave, a younger guy, but becoming more of a veteran, looking better and better as each passing year. Stephon Tuitt, this guy's a pretty damn good defensive lineman, 3-4 defensive end in this league. Hey, again, another young unit here in Pittsburgh that I like. No more Steve McLendon here or other guys that used to be old. I like this unit here in Pittsburgh. The inside linebackers, Ryan Shazier. I mean, this guy made the Pro Bowl last year, deservedly so. He continues to improve and ascend. This is a young, improving, ascending unit. Now, I don't love the other inside linebackers for this unit. You look at Vince Williams. I mean, he's only okay to me, but when you have Ryan Shazier, a Pro Bowl inside linebacker, your inside linebackers are okay to me. I like the inside linebackers in Pittsburgh. So overall, man, a very strong team in Pittsburgh. Look at my fantasy projections for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Ben Roethlisberger, I can't project 16 games. It just appears as if he just does not play 16 games. I mean, he did play 16 games in 2013 and 2014, but it's more likely than not that he will not play 16 games. I mean, that's just the case with Ben Roethlisberger. So I have him down for 13 games, okay, which is about what you expect from him, because he'll play usually at least 12. 3,700 passing yards, which is a lot for 13 games. 30 touchdowns, which is a lot for 13 games. And 10 interceptions, which is decent. So this should be one of the better years for Ben Roethlisberger. The schedule isn't too difficult, okay? He's facing some poor secondaries, and they're getting Martavis Bryant back, Le'Veon Bell. He should play for most of the year. I mean, you have to like this year for Ben Roethlisberger. And he's coming into this year committing himself to committing less turnovers. So you like that conversation that he's having internally. He's talked about that to the media. So I expect a big year from Ben Roethlisberger. But I expect like some stupid ankle or knee injury that'll keep him out in the middle of the season. And then he'll come back and everything will be great, as it usually is for Pittsburgh. Running back Le'Veon Bell. I also can't project 16 games. It's more likely than not that he doesn't, right? He missed a lot of the 2015 season. 2016 was suspended for the first 3 games. His rookie season missed a couple of games. You just can't project 16 games from him yet. He just hasn't really done it, right? But still, I have him down for 1,100 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. It's going to be a huge year for Le'Veon Bell. And if he can actually start 16 games, he may lead the league in rushing. But I haven't seen it yet from him. I need to see it again. Okay, wide receiver Antonio Brown. Now, this is interesting. Will his stats dip a little bit? Now, last year, again, somehow he dipped down to 1,200 receiving yards from 1,800 the year before. And the year before, he had Martavis Bryant. Okay, Martavis Bryant was across from him. So I'm not quite sure what to project, so I'm still projecting a very good year. 100 catches, 1,350 yards, and 9 touchdowns, right? So more receiving yards than he had last year may be shocking to you, but again, he had a great year with Martavis Bryant. So I'm expecting a nice year with Martavis Bryant again. We look at some bold predictions for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they finally extend Le'Veon Bell. Right now, they're in contract disputes. Apparently, the agent for Le'Veon Bell agreed to turn to a deal, and Bell didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. I think they will extend Le'Veon Bell. Maybe after the season, though, but definitely before the franchise tag period again. I don't think he gets franchised again. Okay, so bold prediction number 2. The Steelers beat the Packers on Sunday Night Football. Okay, it's in Pittsburgh. Let me check what week it is. I believe it's about week 12 on the schedule. It's going to be a huge game, one of the biggest marquee games of the year, as I expect big things for both the Steelers and the Packers. Yes, it's in week 12. Just check the schedule. I think you guys get a huge victory over the Green Bay Packers, but it's going to be high scoring. Final score like 35-34, but I think you guys come out on top. And bold prediction number 3, the Steelers really challenge the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship. I mean, I can see a scenario where the Steelers are actually up in that game and the Patriots have to come back. But will you guys win that game? I can't go that far quite yet. We look at the schedule for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, you guys are in the AFC North. And, you know, the thing is with this division, rarely do you guys go 5-1 and almost never do you go 6-0. So although I really want to project 5-1, I just can't do it. A loss to the Ravens is almost certain, despite how bad the Ravens may be. And the Bengals are dangerous. And even the Browns sometimes can scare you guys, although you guys usually end up with the victory. So I'm going to say 4-2. You guys sweep the Browns, split with the Bengals, and split with the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so you guys go up against the NFC North. Okay, again, you host the Packers. I think you win that game. Okay, you travel to Chicago and to Detroit. Now, Chicago, don't trip up against them, but you guys should get it done. At this point, Mike Glennon will still likely be starting, so this should not be much of a problem. At Detroit, could be problematic. Like, I remember last year, the Steelers lost to the Dolphins in Miami. They didn't really show up that game. This game could be similar, but it's on Sunday Night Football, and usually on Sunday Night Football, the Steelers will show up. You know, they maybe not show up in like an early game, so I think you guys can win this game too. And you host the Vikings, not an easy game by any means, but I think early in the season, Ben Roethlisberger healthy, Le'Veon Bell healthy, I think you guys will get it done there. So I say 4-0 against the NFC North. You guys go up against another team from the AFC in the AFC South. Okay, so this means that you host the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 5. This should be a win to me, no problems there. You host the Tennessee Titans in Week 11. Now, this was going to be tough because I like Tennessee this year, but you should get it done. Thursday Night Football will be a little tricky, but you guys should get it done. You travel to Indianapolis in Week 10 and to Houston in Week 16. Now, I'm going to say you lose one of these. Which one? I don't know. I could see mid-season, again, Ben Roethlisberger being injured because that's kind of his move, and you guys lose to Indianapolis. But if not, you guys could lose to Houston later on in the year. So I think the safe projection for this division is 3-1 because maybe you guys lose to Tennessee as well. But yeah, I think that the likely scenario there was 3-1. And then you guys also go up against the teams that finished concurrently with you in the AFC. From the AFC East, you face the New England Patriots. You host them. And look, I really want to pick the Steelers to beat the Patriots. And I think you guys narrowed the gap a bit, although the Patriots got better as well. But man, they just own y'all. I mean, I think they haven't lost to y'all since like 2012 or something. They beat y'all twice last year, although you guys had Landry Jones. They beat y'all twice last year. The AFC Championship game was not close. I think they just have y'all's number, man. Even in Pittsburgh, I got to pick New England to win there. And then from the other division, the AFC West, you guys travel to Kansas City, and y'all have their number. Right? I think you guys can beat Kansas City when you really want to. It's a 4:25 game, not too early. I think the Steelers show up, and they get it done against Kansas City. So we look at my win-loss predictions for this football team. Now, best case scenario, I say 13-3. 14-2, I think that's too high for me because, again, we know the Steelers are going to lose to the Ravens. I mean, that's just their move. We get it. Despite the gap between these two teams, it's just going to happen. The Patriots, I feel like that's what's just going to happen as well. And then there will be at least one game where the Steelers just don't show up. Okay, it's just going to happen. So 13-3, best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I say 10-6. Okay, this should at least be a 10-6 team, man. I mean, I know the Steelers underwhelm pretty much every year, but it's got to be at least 10 wins, man. The Browns aren't very good. The Bengals, they could be a playoff team, but probably not. And same goes for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, my prediction, I really want to say 12 wins, but again, I just feel that Big Ben is going to get injured in the middle of the season, and they're going to lose a game that they shouldn't lose. Or maybe one or two, right? It just happens every year. Okay, so despite the fact that last year I felt the Steelers were a 12 or 13 win team on paper, they only won 11. So I'm going to go with 11. 11-5, but I think you guys will clearly be the second best team in the AFC. You guys will go to the AFC Championship once again, and you guys could get it done. I think you guys will really challenge the Patriots, but I just can't pick you guys to get it done because now that Pittsburgh has finally ascended again, it sucks because the Patriots are better maybe than ever, and it sucks for you guys. But I like the Steelers this upcoming year. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. I'm out. See you all later.